To the September 15th, 2025 Eugene City Council public hearing. Thank you for joining us in this hybrid meeting format. Anyone wishing to access the meeting can do so by watching the live stream available on our website, the broadcast on Comcast Channel 21, or by following the instructions listed for this meeting on the public webcast and meetings materials webpage. There is one public hearing tonight on tonight's agenda. Please note that members of the public who sign up to testify may speak only on the topic that is the subject of the stated hearing. For those wishing to testify during the public hearing, please fill out a request to speak form available on the city's public webcast and meetings material page. These requests to speak forms will be used to generate the order of speakers and correctly enter speakers' names into the public record. We accept requests to speak forms until 5:35 p.m. As a reminder, council's meeting rules of conduct apply to all attendees, both in the chambers and in the body, and include no flags, signs, loud or disruptive language, noise, or conduct that obstructs the business of the council. Please keep the room quiet and respectful for all speakers. You are welcome to wave your hands in silent support. Additionally, we encourage those who are ill or who have close contact with others that are ill to join our meetings remotely rather than in person. We also encourage attendees to spread out in the meeting space and wear a mask if you would be comfortable doing so. We also have some available in the lobby if you need one. In case of a medical emergency, an automatic external defibrillator is located on the counter behind the staff, located to your left on the west side of the room. In case of an emergency evacuation, emergency exits are through the double doors located at the back of the room and the double doors near the front of the room. The doors to the patio can also be used as needed. With that, I call this meeting to order. So gavel in. All right. So public hearing, an ordinance vacating a portion of Leo Harris Parkway. Assistant City Manager, would you please introduce the topic?
Thank you, Councilor Evans. This public hearing concerns a request for vacation of a segment of Leo Harris Parkway right-of-way, no longer serving the public interest. The University of Oregon is the applicant, and this vacation is requested as the last step in the realignment of Leo Harris Parkway, which the City Council approved in concept in January 2023 as part of an outline of terms for an agreement with the university.
Thank you. The City Council's role in this process is to approve with modifications, or deny the application. The decision-making process for this application is considered quasi-judicial, so we will use a quasi-judicial format for this public hearing. To start, do any councilors need to disclose any bias, conflicts of interest, or ex parte communications or abstentions pursuant to EC 9.7065? Do you have any? Mike? No? Okay.
I have my hand raised.
Yeah. Oh, you did. Okay. So Randy.
Thank you, Chair. I actually had, it's been some time ago, I can't remember exactly when, I had a meeting with Matt Roberts on this subject, and he just provided factual information. I feel I can be completely unbiased on this, but I just wanted to disclose that.
Okay, have staff received any challenges to a counselor's impartiality submitted pursuant to Eugene Code Section 9.7065?
Councilor Evans, Councilor Clark is raising his hand.
Oh, Counselor, I didn't see Counselor Clark say. Go ahead, Counselor Clark.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to say that Counselor Groves mentioning what he did reminded me that I too had a conversation with Matt Roberts at the university on this subject, but it was so long ago that I'd forgotten that had taken place when you asked if we had ex parte contact. And I believed as well that, like Counselor Groves, I can make a bias-free and unqualified decision on the record.
Okay. City Attorney.
Thank you. I just want to point out that it sounds like both of those contacts occurred before the application was submitted, which was fairly recently. And also, it sounds like you just spoke about you said you mentioned the facts, so that would just be the realignment and anything else
It was just the
that was happening?
facts of the whole project.
Okay. And is that similar for you, Counselor Clark?
It is. It was just a simple reminder that this project was on the horizon more than anything else.
Okay. Thank you.
I concur with that. That was the way my meeting went.
Thank you.
Like I've got Counselor Zelenka with his hand up.
Yeah, I
And then
wasn't
we'll
going
go to the
to
city
respond, but I had meetings with the U of O as well, but they were long before this. So they weren't our ex parte conversations. So they were heads up conversation a long time ago. Well before the application was received.
And I don't think I see anybody else in the queue, so I'll keep going. Go ahead, Matt.
Quickly answer your question that we have not received any challenges to a counselor's impartiality.
Great. All right, testimony presented at this public hearing should be directed toward the applicable approval criteria and other criteria that the speaker believes apply to the decision. The applicable approval criteria for this code amendment are located in the Eugene Code Section 9.8725. The full text of that code section is available in the findings attached to the AIS for this public hearing. The failure of anyone to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the city council and parties an opportunity to respond will preclude appeals on that issue. For the quasi-judicial proceedings, once the public hearing is open, we start with a statement from the applicant, followed by speakers called in the following order. 1, those in support, including the applicant. 2, those with a neutral position. And 3, those opposed. We ask that each speaker begin their testimony by confirming whether they are in support of, neutral to, or opposed to this vacation request. If you would like to receive further notice of this application and become an interested party, please provide your name and mailing address with your testimony or reach out to staff with this information. Now we will open the public hearing. The applicant's representative, Colin MacArthur, is in attendance and will make a brief statement. Go ahead, Colin.
Excuse me, Chair. Could we find out if anyone has signed up? I think that may influence how much testimony you get from the applicant tonight.
Do we have anybody signed up?
We do have two people
people.
signed up.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
We have that for, neutral, or against, or all three.
We have a neutral and an opposed too.
Okay, good. So go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Evans and the rest of Eugene City Council. My name is Colin MacArthur. I'm the applicant's representative. The applicant is the University of Oregon. I'm joined virtually by Michael Harwood, Associate Vice President and University Architect, Carl Schultz, who's the owner's representative for the project, and Michael Gilardi, the applicant's legal counsel, who are available for any questions. The university is in process of constructing a new indoor football practice facility. In addition to that facility, the project includes 2 new outdoor practice fields, roadway improvements, park improvements, and associated site and landscape improvements. The project involves the vacation and realignment of a portion of Leo Harris Parkway. The area proposed to be vacated is 1.72 acres. The applicant and the city own all of the property abutting the area to be vacated. There is one approval criterion for the vacation of improved public right-of-way. That is, if the council finds the approval is in the public interest. The public agencies began collaboration on this project a couple of years ago. In 2023, the City Council approved the terms of a land swap agreement between the city and the university, in which the university would acquire 4 acres of property from the city for this project, and the city would acquire 8 acres of riverfront property from the university. The terms included a requirement that the university construct and be responsible for all costs associated with the vacation and realignment of Leo Harris Parkway. The parkway has been reconstructed and realigned, and that alignment opened fully in August 2025. The university has hosted 2 football games, utilizing the new alignment and associated support facilities. Although not part of the agreement, the university did win both those football games. The university has met its obligation for this portion of the agreement. The agreement demonstrates that the vacation and land transfer further the interests of both agencies and is therefore in the public interest. We concur with the findings in the staff report and urge council to approve the request. Thank you.
Cherish, you want to take the ball? Go for it.
Thank you, Counselor. When you are announced as the next speaker and physically in the room, please move to the seat in the front row designated for the next speaker. When it is your turn, you may come to the podium. Please leave any bags you may have with you at your seat. If you have documents to give counsel, please place them in the basket near the podium. You will have 2.5 minutes to speak. The timer will flash red when you have 15 seconds remaining to speak. Your microphone will be muted at the 2.5-minute mark. Additionally, please note use of profanity is prohibited, and any instances of profanity will result in immediate termination of speaking privileges. Our speakers tonight are Heron Boyce and Liam O'Grady.
Right up here to the mic. You can sit or stand,
Fair
whichever
enough.
you like.
I'll stand. It's fine. Hello, my name is Heron Boyce, and I consider myself neutral because I recognize the importance of both the university and the city having made consensual agreements for the values and the uses of their land as they see fit. However, at some point, it's also all public lands and also a concern with what the public and those who are living within the city feel impact their well-being in the communities they're in. A big part of clearing a lot of these lands has to do with both changing the existing flora and fauna and also at times displacing peoples who may be finding temporary lodging in those spaces. I would say that anytime there's the ability to minimize impact and destruction to any ecological space, even if it is definitely planted and intentionally cultivated, it's favorable. But beyond those things, I would like to focus my concern on the well-being of marginalized and vulnerable populations which might find themselves in those spaces, specifically people who, for instance, may be without housing and currently taking occupation. Certainly, there's a concern for the overall well-being and civil concerns of those people, and in specific, need to address what might be civil rights violations and/or a attempt at forcefully strong-arming and/or even causing harm, either physically or psychologically, to people being removed from those spaces. In a general and overall perspective, I would say the quality and integrity of human rights is the primary thing that I'm addressing, and a concern as a whole for many other instances throughout the city of similar issues of open space being cleared, for a consensual concern for those spaces, often an eyewash process to push out and vacate space, often leaving people completely disenfranchised, without opportunities for other kinds of lodging, and without the support of the city or the region in finding them more sustainable spaces for quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you, Heron. Our next and final speaker is Liam O'Grady.
Council, I've an opposition to this thing only in that I feel the resistance to just like a resistance to change. I feel like I'm hoping I can maybe be a conduit in town and be able to promote change. But I feel like if I'm cynical, then I'm assuming that mainstream culture in town is like not the change that I'm hoping to support, or I'm not feeling as familiar with those that make these kind of decisions, to know that we have the shared interest in the direction we're trying to pursue, with a hope to have some common ground about the kind of community we're trying to encourage to be making manifest in our midst. I know 15 years ago it was a whole different city, so we do things and we make changes, and then it affects the town, and people feeling like we want to bring back what once was, and find out if I'm wrong, I might have misinformation about the kind of construction, the kind of what this vacating of the portion of the land is about. So I feel like I could be I could come to find out and be surprised and see what comes of this kind of thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Liam. Council President, that was our final speaker.
Okay. Is there a staff response to the testimony? Nope.
No, Counselor.
Okay. Does the applicant wish to rebut any of the offered testimony or make a final statement?
No, Councilor Evans. We thank the council for considering this matter.
Thank you. Are there any questions the councilors wish to ask of staff? Anybody in the queue?
Councilor Evans.
Go ahead, Matt.
Thank you. I'm just trying to wrap my head around where exactly this vacation is. I'm trying to, it's not jumping out off the page. I was just at a chamber event last week at the Science Center and was most impressed with the progress. However, when you turn off of Leo Harris into where the Science Center is, there are ADA spots that are blocked off because of a yellow jacket nest that has been disturbed. I've been stung by a yellow jacket earlier this summer, and apparently I'm allergic, so it caught my attention. So just a heads up to our university partners, before the next big game, hopefully we can mitigate the yellow jacket, the attack of the yellow jackets. But I'm curious where exactly this particular vacation exists and why it wasn't part of the initial request.
So your packet has a couple of different maps. I think the easiest one, at least for me to perceive, is the one that's attached to the ordinance. That's agenda packet page 8, prepared by Branch Engineering. This was supplied by the university. But essentially, there's just a small part of Leo Harris that has already been moved, and we have recorded the new right-of-way. So if you drove on Leo Harris, you drove on the new alignment. The area that has been vacated is probably not looking much like road anymore. And the area where there would be ADA parking for the Science Center would be further along than this particular segment that you'd be vacating.
Thank you. If I may ask a follow-up, Mr. Chair.
Go right ahead.
Does that affect access to the Cuthbert Theater in any way, shape, or form?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Counselor Groves.
Thank you, Council President. My question is, I understand everything that's going on here, but it just seems odd that this comes before us after the old road's torn up, the new road's laid down and paved, the improvements are mostly made. And I'm just curious, why is it done in that order? Because if we were to deny it, seems like the U of O has sunk some considerable capital into the project that we all kind of buy it off on, but I mean, it just seems late.
Well, part of the agreement involves some risk on both sides for the university and the city. And because this is a city asset, it was important that the realignment be completed and through the city's rigorous program for privately engineered public improvements prior to giving up the old right-of-way. So it wasn't until that process was complete, which it is now, and it's under warranty, we're at the point where people are using it and driving on it, that it feels like you can truly make a determination about whether it is in the public interest to let the old right-of-way go.
Thank you for the explanation, and I think it actually, I like the new road design. I actually think it slows traffic down with more curves in it, and I think the work that's been done so far is very nice and up to standards. And with that said, I'd also like to thank the two gentlemen that took the time to come down here tonight and testify. It's always good to hear as many sides to an issue as we can before we make decisions. So thank you.
Does anyone have anything else from council? All right. I will now close the public hearing, and unless there are any objections from council, I will also close the record for this ordinance to vacate a portion of Leo Harris Parkway. If there is a request to hold the record open, consult with the city attorney before closing the record. As a reminder, deliberations and possible action are scheduled for September 22nd, 2025. With that, and with no other business this evening, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.